everybody. This is the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for Tuesday, February the 13th, 2024. I'm calling the meeting to order, and we're first going to call the roll. Alderman Barnhill. Present. Alderman Blanton. Here. Alderman Caesar. Here. Alderman Peterson. Here. Alderman Berger. Present. Vice Mayor Brown. Present. Alderman Potts. Present. Alderman Baggett. Present. And the mayor is present also. We're honored to have Troop 137 with us tonight, and I actually have an opportunity to meet with them a little later on as they work on their merit badge, but they volunteered to help with the invocation and also to lead the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. So William Lynn has volunteered to give the invocation, and then we'll all step up and do the Pledge of Allegiance. So, William, thank you. Please stand.
Thank you for all the help that you've done to all the community to make it a better place. To make sure that we can do our best to make it that we can all live happily, even though that it might not be the best place, but we'll try to make it the best place we can make it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag
To the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good job. I look forward to meeting with you soon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, we need to set the agenda, please. And this is the new policy. We look for any changes that anyone may want to make as far as the agenda, as far as the order of the agenda. If no one wants to make a change, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as set.
So moved.
Motion. Second.
Thank you. Appropriate motion second. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We'll now go to citizen comments. Citizen comments. I have no speaker cards, and so seeing no speakers, we'll move on to if there are any communications from the Williamson County Commission. I see none. And we'll then go to approval of the minutes, January 23rd, 2024 work session and Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Peterson. Any discussion, any alterations? Seeing none, ready to vote. Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. We'll now go to a proclamation, and Christine, come on up. This is a real upgrade. Wooden frame. This has to do with procurement month. And whereas the public procurement function supports the multitude of services provided by governmental agencies, including City of Franklin, and contributes toward the efficiency and effectiveness of the city, whereas the public procurement function focuses on the three pillars of public trust, public service, and justice, which in turn serve as the basis for the six values of accountability, impartiality, ethics, professionalism, service, and transparency. And whereas the procurement function for the City of Franklin is a team effort whereby its success depends upon the effort, support, and cooperation of the city's elected and appointed officials, department heads, departmental purchasing agents, staff of the city administration, engineering facilities, fleet, law, and purchasing departments, the Tennessee Department of General Services, Central Procurement Office, who isn't on this, and the community of suppliers, service providers, and contractors that seek to do business with the city, whereas NIGP, the Institute for Public Procurement, and other professional purchasing associations throughout the world engage in a special effort during the month of March each year to inform the public about the importance of the role played by the public purchasing profession in business, industry, and government. Now, therefore, I, Dr. Ken Moore, Mayor of the City of Franklin, proclaim Procurement Month for the City of Franklin. Christine, you want to say anything?
I'll just
That'll give me a minute to
Just, okay.
hightail it back up.
I will, it's always an honor to represent the team that I support on a daily basis, and the purchasing office has 4 dedicated professionals that every single day work to advance public procurement. But the 4 members of that team would be remiss if they did not acknowledge all of the support from the departments. And very soon, we will be having a meeting with our departmental representation, our department representatives, and we'll be sharing with them, this proclamation. But on behalf of our purchasing office, I do thank you for your support.
Miscellaneous reports. I'll start with a miscellaneous report, followed by the vice mayor, but we have Cardboard Ken with us tonight. Earlier, in an earlier meeting, the real Mayor Ken Moore was wearing this jersey from the Ottawa Senators because I had challenged the Carlton Place mayor to a challenge that if the Predators beat the Senators, he would wear a Predators jersey, and the vice versa. Well, we lost in a shootout. So I've been wearing the jersey. I'm now displaying it in a different fashion. So Mayor Randall, I hope you're listening tonight because there's a rematch on February the 27th in Nashville, and I hope you like wearing yellow. So with that, Vice Mayor, you got a miscellaneous?
Just real quick, I'm going to continue the Sister Cities theme. On behalf of Sister Cities, just a reminder, you've only got about 2 weeks left to catch the Alexander von Humboldt exhibit over at the Archives. It's there until March 1st. Von Humboldt once said, you have to experience nature through feeling, so go and experience nature the way he did it over there at the gallery. It's a great exhibit, so have a good time.
Great, thank you. Any other miscellaneous reports? Mr. Stuckey.
Just real quick, a reminder, one of the things we're doing as part of updating the board and the city's strategic plan is getting some feedback from our citizens. There's a short survey that you can take online. Take you 7-8 minutes tops. Just go to franklintn.gov, click on it, and give us some feedback. It'll all be helpful information as the board does some work through the next part of the year, working on updating our 10-year strategic plan. So take a look at that. We had over 800 as of Thursday afternoon, so a lot of activity. So Michael can give me a number whenever he wants. Over 1,000? 10,000? What's the number? I can't, you're flashing numbers, and I'm a little worried.
So apparently charades is not my skill set. As of earlier yesterday morning, 907 is our current count.
So let's get over 1,000 here quickly. So anyway, we'd love to have the feedback, and it's all helpful. We'll also use survey information that we got from a more in-depth citizen survey a little over a year ago. So thank you.
There's another survey, too, that is being hosted right now by the Williamson County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Just getting feedback not only from people who live in Franklin, but the entirety of Williamson County or work in Williamson County. It's just a snapshot to try to continue to tell our story, and if memory serves, and I'll ask either Ken or Eric to help me, I think you can go to tinyurl.visitfranklin, something of that nature. Go to visitfranklin.com, I'm sure it lives
it'll be
there.
linked there.
Yes, but that's another survey where I think it's obvious we always try to hear from our citizens, and this is just another slice of tourism, but also for locals, people who live here, why they choose to be here, and what makes it special. It takes about 5 minutes, so not to steal the city's thunder.
No, that's good.
Any other miscellaneous reports? Seeing none, we'll move to the consent agenda, and all items under the consent agenda are deemed to be non-controversial and routine in nature by the governing body. They will be approved as recommended by committee or staff by one motion of the governing body. We're looking at items number, actually only one item. I've never seen that. Item number 12. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, appropriate motion second. Alderman Peterson, do you have some question?
No, I thought it was to be taken off the consent agenda because they wanted to discuss it. Is that wrong?
I
Number 12.
considered that an approval, but
Are they supposed to pick it up?
Michelle's in the boardroom working on her budget, so I think she'd be out here if she.
No, we didn't have any, it's just the only item on consent. unless anybody on the board wants to discuss it.
Aren't there, I see, the others, okay. Okay, I've got something to say about,
Well, I'll give you a chance after we vote on the consent agenda.
oh, there she is.
So,
But
is there any,
You're fine.
Right.
I don't think there was a question on item 12. I think it was,
Oh,
we already have a motion and a second.
For consent, it's a one-item consent.
Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. And I'm gonna recognize Alderman Peterson in retrospect for a question.
Well, actually, this was on the receipt of reports and items approved. I wanted to make a note on that so many of those were gaining construction easements for the Lewisburg sidewalks, Phase 1, and there are a lot of them on there, and I was really pleased to see that was getting done.
Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, we'll now go to item number 5, which is Amendment 4 to the City of Franklin Contract Number 2020-0055 with Ascension St. Thomas Urgent Care for renewal regarding near-site clinic services.
Move for approval.
Thank you. Was there a second? Alderman Barnhill, any discussion? Ready to vote. Alderman Barnhill?
Yes.
Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Alderman Caesar?
Yes.
Alderman Peterson?
Yes.
Alderman Berger?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Yes.
Alderman Potts?
Yes.
Alderman Baggett?
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item 6 is consideration resolution 2024-10, a resolution authorizing the use of competitive seal proposal procurement method for choosing the service provider for group employee insurance benefits consulting services for a term of award for the Human Resources Department. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Seeing none, ready to vote. Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 7, this is in consideration of ordinance 2023-43, an ordinance to rezone 93.32 acres from Plan PD 12.76 per 1,156,378 per 315 district to be planned. And I will not read the next PD size, but district for the property located north and south of McEwen Drive and west of Mallory Lane located at 5,000 Aspen Grove.
Move for approval.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
and it's also establishing a public hearing.
And establish a public hearing. Thank you for pointing that out. Any discussion? That was a second according to,
I was second.
Yeah, thank you.
And bringing that.
okay, any other discussion or comments or questions? Ready to vote?
Just the fact that the public comments are on March 12th.
Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 8, this is consideration of ordinance 2023-42, an ordinance to rezone 2.004 acres from residential R3 district to civic institutional district for the property located south of Del Rio Pike and west of Alexander Drive at Del Rio Pike, establishing a public hearing on March the 12th. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you, Alderman Blanton. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Item number 9, consideration of ordinance 2024-01, an ordinance to amend the City of Franklin Municipal Code Title 15, Chapter 6, Section 15-615, Title 15, Chapter 7, Section 15-704, and Appendix A, Chapter 15, to prohibit overnight parking in city garages and city-owned service lots. Established a public hearing on March the 12th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So move.
Seconded by Alderman Potts. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Mayor,
Alderman
thank you.
Caesar.
Thank you for recognizing me. I was not in the work session last week, or last month, but was able to watch it online and enjoyed the conversation and the thoughts around this. As I recall, the end kind of feedback from that was we were going to work with Chief Faulkner and the police to determine how this may be enacted and what may be some of the best ways to enact it, because overnight is nebulous.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if there's any more guidance from staff prior to moving forward with this on.
Yeah, so we have the ability to use the traffic or the parking system that's in place. Those, you see the lights above the stalls, those can actually inform us, so we could set a certain time overnight, say like 3 a.m., that it could send notice that there are cars parked that need to be reviewed. And so it doesn't put an extra burden on patrol, it'd just be something we could share, and then the overnight patrol could go in and enforce that. So we could use our system, you can actually turn to a different color to show where those would need to be enforced, if that's the way you'd like to do it. We'd have to do a visual on the surface lots, because we don't have the luxury of the technology, but we can use technology to minimize the burden on our patrol, but patrol would be the best enforcement mechanism, and to do it, pretty much after, restaurants, bars are closed, middle of the night type of thing would be a enforcement mechanism that we would recommend is probably the most efficient way to do this, if that's what you would like.
Technology working for us, I like
Yes.
that. I do have a question, though, prior to moving forward with an ordinance, could we evaluate whether or not this is a problem using that same technology?
Sure.
And that may be something that I would want to see prior to voting. in
We
support.
could apply that same rule and use the system to report out what we see over a period of time and share that with you.
And then you could see the improvement. You
You
could
could just
potentially see
see, yeah.
improvement once ordinance is enacted.
Yeah, and you could see, we all hear the anecdotal of seeing people dragging suitcases in and out of that parking garage, but you could get some sense of what spaces are occupied over a period of time and inform how much if you even want to do this.
Alderman
Thank you.
Barnhill.
I had some maybe concerns or whatever when we first were talking about this, but I was down here maybe a couple of weeks ago for some reason or other, and I don't remember why I was here. But the parking lot the parking garage was probably 40% filled. I mean, it showed 159 vacant parking spaces, and there was at least 6 or 7 different states that were parked in that parking garage. There were some that was backed in. There was very few of those, but there were many, many out-of-state cars parked in that, and out of county. Very few Williamson County cars that I could see, and I just happened to be, because we were discussing this. So that's the reason that I would support this, because it's obviously being used not by county residents or city residents, but by people who are visiting inside the city for some reason or another.
Alderman Berger.
Question on that.
Go ahead.
What does that matter? We want people in our city from all over. People visit here all the time from every state in the Union, in the
We
United
don't want
States.
visitors, we don't want people in the garage parking and not paying when they're supposed to be paying, and they park they're in the hotel over there. So they're coming over here then to park to avoid paying the
Well,
$10 hotel parking fee or whatever it is.
But you might be assuming they're at the hotel, they may not be.
I might be
Now,
assuming
if
it,
they're,
but I wasn't assuming what I saw on the license plate.
but if they're overnight, that was one thing. And we could possibly know that, but if they're there till midnight and they leave,
Well, it wasn't there at the midnight, because I didn't
What-
come down till
what
about
time-
6 in the morning for some
oh,
reason or
okay.
other.
Oh, okay. So it was around 6 you're talking about?
Give or
Clyde?
take.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Thank you,
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Yeah, I needed some clarification on that. Because, that, you make a good point. And I think we talked about that. I've got a couple, Ms. Mayor, may I continue?
Please continue.
Clyde brings up a good point with, since he saw that at 6 a.m., that makes more sense. But I would like, if it's a first-time offense, I'd like a warning rather than a ticket. Because some people miss signs, they don't know, and that, sometimes happens. The other thing that I'm really concerned with, Eric, you explained how that would work with the lights, and that's good. But what if a car breaks down and these people don't know what to do, and they don't put a note on their car that says, my car's broken down, blah, 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 and we ticket them?
We talked about that.
I don't want that. And then the other thing is, What if somebody goes down here to one of the restaurants and they've had too much to drink? We don't want to encourage them to get in their car because they're going to get a ticket. We want them to take an Uber or someone else to take them home. They have to leave the car there. I do not want them penalized for that. That defeats the whole purpose of encouraging people not to get in their cars. So how do we question, I wasn't here for the work session
I know
either.
you brought up the same questions we talked about,
Okay.
which is funny, because we're all on the
And
same page.
I heard some of that, but I don't think there was anything decided on that.
I don't know that I should be the one to respond. if
I
nobody wants
wonder
to.
how was that decided on? Because do we have a good answer to how we'll handle that? I don't want to ticket them.
It would go to city court.
Yeah, you'd have to go through city court.
Oh.
I mean, this
No.
is
That's-
initiated by the board.
Not gonna do
Tell
that.
us what you want to
No.
do. This is not a staff initiative.
Yeah.
So just tell us how you want to, what you need to make a
No.
decision, or how you want us to support your review
I
of
gotta have a
this.
better reason to that.
Just, yeah, we look for your guidance. We don't really have a recommendation except for the issue is brought up, and we
Yeah.
reflected what's in the ordinance now and what an option might be to address
Yeah.
overnight parking. So you had a couple weeks to think about it. We're willing to take your direction. We just kind of kept it moving. But it's really kind of your call to direct us on this, because it came from the board.
How many people are parking there overnight that we know of on a consistent basis, or week by week, or month by month? How many have we had? Do we have those?
This
numbers?
was what leads into what I was going to ask the same
Alderman
thing.
Baggett,
Yeah.
because he's the one that brought
Yeah,
this.
Okay.
and that's a great point, and the only reason I jump in is because I think we don't have the data now, and to your point, then maybe we could get some data over the next couple weeks. This is our first of 3 readings too.
Yeah.
So we'll get a public hearing next time, and I think it's important on this. The issue, the reason this was brought forward, pardon me. Sorry. That's called a frog in your throat down in Alabama. But the reason it's brought forward is because of the issue that Alderman Barno brought up, and staff come in,
Pass that down.
and also, quite frankly, the hotel is telling people to, they're just free to park over there. Thank you so much.
That's for me. You're welcome.
She's sharing.
You know, and so we require parking, a lot of it for the hotel, and they're using our free parking. And inherently, there's nothing wrong with that, because we want people to come visit,
right.
obviously. But also, you know, if you have 20 cars are there overnight, or, you know, what's the total capacity, 250 or something,
Close, just under 300.
10, 15%? You know, Alderman Barnhill
The
said it
sign
was.
said 159.
Yeah, but it could be,
spaces.
you know, yeah, so there you go. It was 100 there, you know, and I think that's a lot. And those, if those are overnight guests, they should be parking at the hotel. I'm open to seeing the data. You know, maybe the next 2 weeks, it could be tracked to see how many stay in the deck overnight, we'll know. But, you know, if we didn't want to go that far and do no overnight, you could, I think, program the lights to turn on to a different color after they've been there 24 hours and still have the same effect of ticketing people. That's, the ordinance is already on the books. So there's a couple of steps here, but I do think that there is, and maybe not a massive problem, but it is a problem where the parking deck is being occupied, not there for public use because it's used by someone that we've required them to build parking. And so I think that's what we're trying to solve here. I don't know that a warning, then the hotel's going to say, you can park there overnight, you'll just get a warning, instead of parking there for free.
Second time they get a ticket though.
Well, I know, but for the overnight hotel guests, unless they're coming back frequently, I don't know that would really matter. I mean, I think that you need to have some teeth initially on the initial infraction.
Do we have a sign?
But anyway, thank you.
Do we have a sign that says no hotel parking?
No.
Why don't we have a sign that says no hotel parking allowed? That would solve that problem. Should.
Because we don't have an ordinance.
I'm not sure how you'd enforce
Well,
that.
let's get an ordinance. We need an ordinance that says
This is-
no parking in the garage for a hotel guest or.
And generally for safety, this
Right.
takes care of other safety issues as well. Like, it's not just the, this would take care of people parking and being in the deck overnight as well.
Well,
So, go ahead. I was going to say,
it's very frustrating.
you ready to vote?
No, I'm not. I cannot support this at all.
Well, it,
Because there's just way too many unsolved questions here. And I don't want to vote to even take it to a public discussion without solving some of these other issues at the board level, at the staff level. So can we say your car has to be removed by a certain time in the morning? It's a parking garage. And maybe we want to deter the hotel people from using it. Okay. But is there a way we can say, if people want to park there overnight for a reason, why would they be doing that? Is it only hotel? Is it something else? Is it people who've had too much to drink? Is it somebody who had a car breakdown? So we can say, please see the city administrator, please see the administration office in the morning if there's an issue or whatever. Is there something? Because
New line for your job description here.
I don't care. Send them somewhere else. Send them to the Ward 4 alderman. But, you know, can we say your car has to be removed by a certain time, 6 a.m., due to, you know, we've got workers, people, employees coming in here, so you want to remove the car. I'm just throwing all this stuff out. Some of it makes no sense, but.
So how
but
many?
You want to remove it at a certain time in the morning, but.
Don't make me
there's
call the
just
question.
So many.
Thank you.
Well, Ann wants to say something, but
No,
there's so
I
many
just-
unsolved, I'm not voting for it because there's too many unsolved questions here that need to be worked out before we even get to public comment.
Ready to vote?
Ready to vote?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
No.
Alderman Caesar.
No.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
No.
Vice Mayor Brown.
No.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
And Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
So,
Let him vote, let him vote.
Can someone count the votes for me? I'm going to vote yes, because I do want to hear what the public says about it, and I do want to see some data. And from that, I think Alderman Berger makes a good point. Do we need an ordinance that says no hotel parking?
Yeah.
Some things like that. So I'd like to see it move forward so we can have some further discussion and try to resolve it.
the one thing that I was going to say is
So
sometimes.
the motion
Oh,
passes.
yeah, okay, so the motion, excuse me, thank you. For the people who are parking in the hotel garage, every time you want to go out somewhere, you have to, you know, have your car brought down and everything and have to pay a fee. I mean, not a fee, but I guess you know, thank you to whoever brings it down. So
Tip.
people who are staying in the hotel may park on the garage just during the day, because if they're going in and out 2 or 3 times, that's in addition to,
Daytime.
you know, so in addition to having to pay the parking fee
Yeah,
overnight.
I think we've already voted and we've passed on that motion. I
But I-
appreciate your points. We're
Yeah.
going to continue to move
But,
forward.
Mr. Mayor, will we bring back that information to have ready? Because we're going to get a lot
I think that
of,
was the request.
we're going to get a
by
lot of
Alderman
questions.
Caesar, and I think also Alderman Baggett, so we would instruct staff or ask staff
To
to
bring that
come
back.
back
That would be
with
good.
some data.
May I ask a question? Can we?
I've already
can-
shut Alderman Peterson off.
Well, this
So-
is important.
I mean, we voted on it, it's
No,
over,
it's,
so we're moving forward.
it's not about, it's,
You want to reconsider the motion?
no,
I don't think so, because
You
she's
just-
not on the prevailing side.
True.
That's right.
Item 10 is City of Franklin Contract 2024-0017 with Cumberland River Compact for the purchase of compensatory mitigation credits in the amount of $220,195. Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Thank you. Thank you for the second, Alderman Caesar. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passed unanimously. Item number 11 is City of Franklin Contract 2024-0008 with Harpeth River Reserve LLC for the purchase of compensatory mitigation credits in the amount of $373,860 for the McEwen Drive Phase 4 project. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman
Second.
Barnhill, second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Ready to vote? Alderman Barnhill.
Yes.
Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Caesar.
Yes.
Alderman Peters.
Yes.
Alderman Berger.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Brown.
Yes.
Alderman Potts.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
Passes unanimously. Is there any other
I will make a motion
business
to
that
adjourn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.